Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're immersing ourselves in a really fascinating world. The actual infrastructure of true high-end luxury service.
That's right. And we're doing it through the lens of a very specialized provider in Palma de Mallorca in Spain.
Right, a company that works at that intersection of bespoke travel and high-level hospitality consulting.
Exactly. So our mission for you today is to get past the superficial stuff, the visible wealth,
Mm-hmm.
and really look at the philosophy, the how behind curating these seamless experiences in a world that's just, it's saturated with information.
So what's left when you strip away all the marketing?
Pure professional expertise.
Yeah.
Their whole mission boils down to a simple phrase: we make your life easy.
And the real insight there, I think, is that modern luxury isn't about solving problems that come up.
No.
It's about making sure that friction can't even arise in the first place. It's all about anticipation.
It is. And what's so interesting here is the dual nature of their business.
Yeah.
On one hand, they're crafting these incredible custom journeys in Mallorca using their deep local network.
And on the other,
They're offering business consulting and specialized training programs. So they're not just providing luxury, they're teaching the rest of the industry how to do it.
it's like the ultimate feedback loop. They apply their expertise for the traveler, and then they turn around and use it to elevate the whole industry standard.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's unpack this idea of luxury because our sources show a massive shift is happening. We're moving away from what you might call traditional luxury.
The amenity-driven model.
Right, and into something they call experiential travel. What's the actual difference?
Well, experiential travel is all about personal transformation, meaningful engagement.
You okay?
If traditional luxury focused on, material comforts, the private jet, the size of the suite, the fancy sheets, experiential travel is all about context and authenticity. It's about really immersing yourself in local cultures, local traditions,
Okay.
creating memories that actually, that might even spark some personal growth.
So the real luxury isn't just about comfort, it's about the exclusivity and the depth of the actual encounter.
Precisely. You see, so many people spend a lot of money to travel,
Yeah.
but they never really experience the place.
They stay in a bubble.
Exactly. If traditional luxury is about escaping your reality, this is about connecting deeply with a new one. And their approach in Mallorca is just a master class in this.
How so?
They combine that high-end refinement you'd expect, but they layer it with this curated access to local experts, artisans, people you could just never find with a Google search.
Okay, give us some real-world examples. How does that translate into an itinerary that actually, changes your perspective?
Think beyond just a fancy dinner. Imagine a private cooking class with a renowned chef, but not in some sterile kitchen. You're in their own personal home. Or maybe you're in a workshop with a master artisan whose family has been practicing that same craft for 5 generations.
Wow. That immediately changes the whole dynamic. You're not a spectator anymore.
You're a participant. Or maybe it's getting exclusive access to a private historical venue, or being woven into a local festival in a way that just isn't open to the public. These are those unique behind-the-scenes moments. That's the value.
And there's another layer here, right? This kind of luxury has to be responsible. The sources talk a lot about sustainability and local impact.
Oh, absolutely. This is a crucial difference. These experiences are built to partner directly with small, local communities.
Yeah, so the money stays local.
The economic benefits stay in the region, yes. They're also really strict about limiting group sizes, supporting traditional crafts to keep them alive, and choosing eco-conscious partners.
So it shifts from just indulgence to a more meaningful, responsible investment in the place you're visiting.
It connects the traveler's investment to tangible local benefits. It makes the whole thing more meaningful for everyone.
That sets us up perfectly for the next part, because none of this is possible without what the sources call the true art of concierge service.
Right. And they draw a very sharp line between that and the pretenders.
The people who just treat their phone like a concierge does.
Exactly. This group is rooted in the absolute highest standard of the profession. They're members of the Mallorcan chapter of Clefs door.
The golden keys.
Golden Keys. And that's a title that signifies decades of dedication and expertise. It's something you can't fake it with an app.
So what defines a true seasoned concierge then? I mean, this is clearly a skill set that goes way beyond just being helpful.
Absolutely. The sources boil it down to about 6 key traits. First one is just raw experience.
Right.
Concierge work is not an entry-level job. Most of these pros are over 30, and they've spent like half their lives in high-pressure hospitality roles. Front desk, guest relations, even hotel directors. They know the ecosystem inside and out.
So it's not just about age, it's about the time spent gaining that complex situational knowledge.
Precisely. You have to see patterns. Second, they have a global perspective. A great concierge has often lived and worked abroad. They understand cultural nuance, the unspoken rules of etiquette.
That cultural agility is key, which leads right into the third trait, I'm guessing. Multilingualism.
Yes, fluency in 3 languages is pretty common, but it's not just about translating words.
What do you mean?
They're translating culture and expectations. They know a request from a client in Tokyo carries a totally different set of unstated needs than one from a client in London.
I see. Okay, so if they have the experience and the cultural knowledge, the fourth trait has to be the most critical one, the ability to open doors, the powerful network.
That is their currency. These are connections built over years, even decades. They're not filling out an online form. They're calling the chef personally.
They know the person who holds the guest list.
They know the person who holds the guest list.
Mm.
This network of trust lets them just bypass all the friction points that stop the rest of us.
But what about vulnerability? I mean, what happens when a key person in that network retires? Does the whole thing just crumble?
That's a great question. And it really speaks to the professional mindset. The network is a living thing. It's constantly being maintained, expanded. It's about reciprocity. If one door closes, they already have 3 others lined up.
And the fifth trait, which feels more important now than ever, is discretion.
This is maybe the last bastion of privacy in the service world.
Mm-hmm.
They work with high-profile people, and their mantra is just absolute silence. They're invisible when you don't need them, but indispensable when you do. You break that trust once, and your entire network collapses.
So it's not just good manners, it's a fundamental business asset. Can you give us a sense of the scale of the difference here? The sources had some really memorable comparisons.
They really did. And it's all in the layers of detail and access. Take a dinner reservation.
Okay.
An amateur might get you a table at a trendy spot, but it's probably at 5:30 p.m.
Or 10:30, right.
Yeah, exactly. A true professional has the chef prepare an off-menu dish just for you, tailored to your tastes, at a prime table during peak hours.
That is a world of difference.
Yeah,
What
next
about
one.
something like event access?
An amateur will, use an app to tell you an event is sold out, which is useless.
It's completely
But the professional not only gets you in, but they'll often have you escorted to a private VIP section, bypassing all the crowds.
And even the small details like transportation show that level of anticipation.
Right. An amateur arranges a car. The professional's driver already knows your name, your favorite coffee, the perfect temperature for the car, and they've already checked the real-time traffic to find the best route.
It's that synthesis of professional expertise with hyper-personal predictive detail.
That's the difference between providing a service and engineering an experience. Technology isn't the enemy here, it's a tool. But Google is a supplement to knowledge, not a substitute for it.
This is where we get into the hard logistics. Okay, so trust and access are key, but that access deals with scarce resources. How do they manage pricing and securing these things if luxury is, as they say, shaped in motion?
Right. It's not a fixed menu. They operate on 3 principles of bespoke design. The first is fluid pricing.
Okay.
The journey starts with a tailored estimate, but the final investment adjusts as you enhance things. Maybe you extend a yacht charter or add a specialist guide. The key is your approval comes first for any new cost. Total transparency.
That makes sense. Which brings us to the second principle. Seasonality, scarcity, and market fluidity.
They're sourcing from a live market of rare assets. Boutique vineyards, private vessels, master guides. The price and availability depend completely on the month, the harvest, maritime conditions, local festivals.
So a private charter in August is a totally different asset than the same one in February.
A fundamentally different asset with a different value. The quotes are real-time because the market is real-time.
And that leads to the third principle, which I have to say I found really challenging, proposal validity. They have a strict 72-hour validity on their proposals.
Mm-hmm.
For a trip that might take 8 months to plan, how does a high-pressure 3-day window not, undermine the promise of peace? Doesn't that create friction?
It's a critical point, and the answer is all about scarcity management. That 72-hour window isn't to create pressure on you, it's to protect your access.
How so?
Because these exclusive assets, a specific rare villa, or one of only 2 master guides in the whole region, they move incredibly fast in that private world. If they hold it for you for longer than 72 hours without confirmation, they damage their relationships, and that asset is gone.
So The value you're investing in is privilege and peace of mind. But the 72-hour deadline is the cost of securing that privilege in such a competitive market.
That's it, exactly. You are investing in the guaranteed access to things that can't be mass-produced. And look, while they recommend planning way ahead, that strong network means they can often pull off some remarkable last-minute requests, too.
Okay, now let's pivot to that other side of their operation. They aren't just creating these journeys. They're a resource for the whole hospitality industry. What do they offer to other businesses?
They basically translate their success into strategic consulting. They offer business consulting to hoteliers, entrepreneurs. They help them find and fix the gaps in their service delivery.
And what kind of failures are they uniquely able to spot?
They see that a lot of operations fail not from a lack of, expensive materials, but from a lack of anticipation.
Ah, there's that word again.
It's everything. Their experience handling these high-stakes private travelers means they can teach management how to apply predictive service, how to read the subtle, nonverbal cues from a guest and fulfill a need before it's even spoken.
So the professional training programs they offer are really about exporting that anticipatory mindset to entire teams.
Exactly. The goal is to empower staff to move beyond just passive service to active, transformative service. It's about creating a culture that understands excellence is in the details.
And before we wrap, we should touch on their focus on inclusion.
Yes, definitely. They have a dedicated service called LGBT+ by Luxure. It offers a queer-focused travel experience, which means they have specialized knowledge of welcoming venues, safe spaces events,
Things that provide true peace of mind.
true peace of mind for a part of the travel market that is, often overlooked in traditional luxury planning.
So what's the big takeaway here? Whether you're a traveler or a professional, there seems to be a core lesson that applies to everyone.
I think the essential takeaway is that true modern luxury isn't really about money. It's an infrastructure. It's built on decades of expertise, carefully cultivated networks, and just fierce discretion. The value is in the access, the service, and the personal transformation that lasts long after you get home.
And those principles, they apply way beyond travel, don't they? If you're planning a trip or running a business, it's the same thing. Deep knowledge and tailored solutions will always, always beat a generic, quick fix you find online.
The expertise you build is the only real competitive advantage that can't be automated.
Right.
Which brings us to our final thought for you to consider. If a true concierge's network is their currency, built over decades of personal, non-digital engagement, how can you start to cultivate deeper, less transactional connections in your own life or career? Just think about what kind of access, what level of excellence you could achieve with a specialized network that Google simply cannot replace.